Perfect. So the main goal for today is that you have a roadmap to grow your business, that you come out of this room today with a roadmap to grow your revenue and your profit. Who wants to grow their revenue and profits by showing hands? Come on, with a little bit more of excitement. Yes or no, guys? Yay! Excellent. So we divided this presentation. In one way, we're going to give you the foundations that you need in order to grow and succeed. And then we're going to present you the strategies, the 4 different strategies, the 4 different concepts that you can adapt into your business that will make you grow. And the nice part of it is that it's not only the growth, but minimizing risk. And I think that's a pretty good idea, not only because the idea and the theory is fine, it's because I became obsessed with what I'm going to present you in a couple of minutes amongst Patrick. And not only that my business grew a couple of thousands, I did a 20x revenue growth in the last 4 years. So Patrick?
Well, I would say give an applause for Fede, 20x in revenue. Who of you knows the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki? And who of you knows the cash flow quadrant? It's the other book, basically an entire book, 200 pages about this 2x2 matrix, but it's still a great book. And there's a concept that for me personally has been accompanying me through my entire entrepreneurial life. Like I started after university, the same university as Phil, by the way. I started working as a consultant in a consultancy. I worked at McKinsey, at Simon Kucher and Partners, and I was an employee, and I hated it. I completely hated it, to be honest. Like, after a couple of years working as a McKinsey consultant and these kind of things, I understood that the carrot that is waiting at the end was also not more delicious than the carrot I already had here. You're not, even if you play this game through to the end, then what? Then you're a partner, then you get a good salary, but you still work 80 hours a week, and it's terrible. They still do excellent, you know. I still thought, like, even though I play this game till the very end, then what? So I thought, well, that sucks. There needs to be something else in life. Typically, the transition in this quadrant is going from employee to self-employed. Well, then I started as a freelancer. I all the time, I had my side hustle, I had my little marketing agency, I did iHouse. If you want to talk about the first startup I started in Austria in 2012, it's a fun story I'm going to tell another moment. So I started becoming a self-employed, changing time for money, right? Which already gave me the illusion of being the big entrepreneur, but at the end I felt like I'm the external employee of my customers, right? Who has this feeling from time to time as a marketing agency that your client really, you know, demands and your client really dominates basically your life. If they send you on Sunday at 6 p.m. a message, you still have to deactivate the campaign. You're still, yeah, I'm self-employed, but you're still somehow their external employee. That sucked, okay? So then you transition from self-employed to business owner, and as a business owner, you have a system, right? You have a system where people work inside the system. So I'm really, really happy that today I would consider myself being at the business owner point, where I'm really happy to have Petri here, where I have all of these amazing people recording and stuff. So there is a system. Anibal basically solving every single issue that you can imagine on this planet. I'm really thankful to have this amazing COO in the team. And yeah, it's a system. Even the content of the workshop, I'm not delivering on my own during 2 days. Even my own presentation, I'm not doing alone anymore. You know, like there's a system that works, okay? And I'm sure, so who of you would consider himself in the business owner area here? Who of you has a system, right? I mean, basically all of you, right? All of you have a system. But now what's the next step? Because I don't know if you've seen my Augenringe the last couple of days, I still had to hustle 14, 15, 16 hours a day, you know? I mean, it's a system, people work inside the system, yeah, but still, you know? So where's the carrot? Where's the carrot now? And for me personally, it's in the 4th quadrant, in the investor quadrant, where you basically take the capital that you've generated with your agency, with your e-commerce, with your business, right? You take the capital and then you reinvest it. For example, Waldemar, my dear friend, I would really see you, I mean, sort of in both, right? I mean, you're an investor, but you're still an entrepreneur. You still love to have your cash cow. You have your money generating machine. Because as an investor, if you now have a capital of 1 million, if you have whatever, 10% annual profit with that, it's still just 1.1 million afterwards. But as an investor, you want to buy more properties, you want to invest more in stock exchange, you want to invest in crypto, you want to buy other companies and these kind of things like these gentlemen typically do. On a Monday morning, they go to notar and sign and we purchase companies and these kind of things. So yeah, that's where I see myself. On Tuesday, I'm gonna turn 33. Tonight we're gonna celebrate crazily, and where I see myself in the next 3, 5, 10 years is always in between of these two quadrants. Like I'm still gonna have my, my systems that generate cash, and I invest in companies, in real estate, and in something different. That's what we're gonna talk about today.
Thank you, my friend. So if you remember, who was on the previous presentation in Barcelona a couple of months ago? Excellent. If you remember, back then, we were talking about how to invest your money. And we divided those ideas in a way that if you like minimum risk and volatility, we have two plans. And basically, I said back then that for that money that you want to invest, you should invest about 20% into your business, developing and growing your business using the Ansoff matrix. And that was a mistake from my side. Why was that a mistake? Because if you are Coca-Cola, a well-established company that has not much more potential for growth, you're looking for different opportunities. And that's what happened. If you look at Coca-Cola's investments, they buy other companies. Why? Because it makes no sense for them to reinvest more capital into their companies. And why was that a mistake? Because most of you guys have the type of company that has a lot of potential for growth. Many of you guys might double your revenue in 1 year. Many of you guys grow your revenue by 40%. So it wouldn't make really sense to invest only 20% of your available money in expanding your business. What will make a lot of sense is for that money that you want to invest, you actually invest that money, 70% into your business. How many of you guys read the book Sell Like Crazy from Sabri? I give you a quote from one of the first chapters. He says, if you invest in your business or ads, you will make more profit than the stock market and even real estate. Is it true? Right? So what makes sense is, guys, you have money, you have cash, invested in a way that you can make the bigger profit. Why will you invest in the stock market most of your money, which will give you a 10% return? That's the average for the last 100 years. If you can make 20, 25, 30, 50, 100% more money, will make more sense to invest it in your business. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
So let's talk about business expansion. What we're going to do is Patrick will show you the foundations, what you need to establish first in your business before you apply any strategy.
Exactly, because today we brought, so the thing is, just to tell you also where all of this comes from, that Fede and I now present together and these kind of things. So first of all, I really love this guy. He's an amazing personality and he's a great personal brand, has a cool business in Spain. And after the last presentation in Barcelona, he approached me and he said, Patrick, Ansoff matrix. Ansoff matrix, that way. I was like, man, it's Sunday morning, we had party yesterday, what the hell, at breakfast, you remember? I'm like, yeah, perfect. He's like, no, I need to talk to you. This changed my life, this changed my business, this changed my business. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's have a Zoom call next week. He's like, no, I need to talk to you now. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's me.
That was like, literally him, and I'm like super hungover. He's like, nah, this needs to be shared with the mastermind. So I'm like, okay, this Ansoff matrix. Ever since then, how many meetings did we have, more or less, to prepare this presentation?
4, 5.
yeah, in the presentation with an Argentinian dude, I love you, man, but they take 2 or 3 hours, even though it's a 45-minute slot in Calendly. I love you, bro.
That's me, bro.
So we spend a lot of effort, a lot of time, and it's also for me, it was a nice challenge, like delivering, you know, not just awards and agendas and stuff, but also giving you value, something that I think is, you know, something that Matteo, Raffi, Manuela, that every one of you can actually apply. Okay, and I'm not going to show you how to improve, you know, the bidding in meta ads anymore. I think all of you know that very well. So I'm going to think this is very interesting. And I'm going to share something basically, yeah, very intimate. Like for example, in 2022, in our business, we reinvested over €500,000. That's the screenshot of our accounting. So 515,000 euros plus VAT, we actually spent. Obviously, some of the costs are operative costs, clear. But in general, I would say that from the budget that we have reinvested, you could roughly take out the operative cost. But besides that, I would say around 40% of the actual money that we spent in 2022, we spent directly on our clients. Another 30% I spent on the team, and another 30% we spent on the brand Patrick Wind. Okay, and what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you in a little bit detail where we spent that more or less to give you some ideas, and then we're going to have a 2 minutes working slot with some background music and stuff where you are happily invited to write down how you could actually reinvest in your business. Raffi did something very smart. For example, in the last couple of months, he also reinvested 6 digits in something business related. Raffi also has a really nice office. You know, can you share how much did you spend on the office renovation, these kind of things? 150,000. But you know, it's, you know, but where I would put that, for example, on team, but also on brand somehow. Because Raffi is a very smart dude. He records an Instagram story, goes through the office. He's not saying, hey, I have a cool office, take a look at my office. So what I would do, if you're not motivated in the morning, I would do, he shares something that indirectly shows, hey, I have a big office. I have 15 people in the company, you know, very smart. And the team is more motivated. These 2 guys, amazing office in the center of Vienna. We celebrated our Christmas party there. And obviously, like all of these are smart investments. Let's start with the first one. Some ideas how you can actually reinvest directly in your clients. What we did in 2022, well, what you paid when you reserved this hotel was the night in the hotel, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You didn't reserve, so to say, I'm just being like transparent with all of you, so you didn't reserve the fanciest, the most expensive first day, you know, evening activity that we did in Las Vistas, but we do this for branding reason, because we also, you know, happy customers, your best business strategy, these kind of things. What we did in 2022, however, we organized a catamaran in Barcelona, another 7K. We rented a pirate boat where Martin can maybe tell you some funny stories tonight. That was really cool. Yeah, like all of these speaker intros that we do when you come on stage, you know, everything, these are all resources that cost money. And every speaker is professionally recorded from ISA, and they get this speaker kit afterwards that they can use in the social media. So everything that we can possibly do, we make possible. We included in the normal MasterMind package one-on-one sessions with Matteo, with Alex, now we also with Lucas when it comes to Facebook, it's with even English classes. You know, even fucking English classes. You know, and all of this is sort of an over-delivery, sort of. But I really like to reinvest directly in my clients. I always say, before I give Mark Zuckerberg, you know, another $2,000 or something, I prefer, I don't know, to invite these 2 guys for the hotel or something. That's honestly my train of thought. We launched a book together. That was fucking 6 months of work. You know, if you take my hourly rate, which is around 3,000 euros an hour, I spent 250 hours on this book. And I thought it's so easy, like I'm just a host and Aaron writes a chapter. That's the work, the most underestimated in my life. I promise, like the thing that I thought is, you know, a month, max, 6 months, every single day. Well, it's the bonus that we're gonna talk in a couple of seconds. Reinvest in your team. Well, obviously, Who was here at the presentation of Lasse Krüger yesterday? He does some really nice team activities. We also do so. We go to Ibiza. Well, we went there the last time. Obviously, for the entire time, they also go for what they do in Lanzarote afterwards. The entire team is invited. They stay another week. They can bring their family, flights, everything. We rent them a car. Obviously, everything is paid. Everything is happy. You know, Pedro is going to join. We're going to have a great time in Lanzarote. Woo! That's going to be good. So, you know, these kind of things. Andrea, you know, our head of creatives, obviously, if her MacBook, if she needs a new one, paid by the company. And obviously, she doesn't get the 2,500 MacBook, she gets the 4,800 euro MacBook because she's the head of design and stuff. These kind of things. All company costs, obviously. We regularly, like once a month or twice a month, go to dinner together, and then we don't go to a shitty place. Go to a nice place. Okay? But also not a 5-star whatever. It's all, everything, you know, we're still, how's it called? Always stay a student or something like this in your brain. Like I always do this, but at a certain level. Okay? Reinvest in your brand. Public speaking at conferences, public speaking at other masterminds. Okay? The Messestand, doesn't matter if it's recorded. The Messestand at Founder Summit for next year is 12,500 euros, for example. They somehow trigger me by saying, yeah, you might get a speaker slot at the main stage, but we cannot guarantee, but I'm not gonna get it. But maybe yes, we'll see, okay? 12,500 euros to have a cool stand. Invest in mentoring, collaborations. I paid another 36 grand a month ago to a guy, his name is Alejandro Novas, because in Spain, he's basically my biggest competitor. But he also lives this abundance mindset, like, or competition. But we're the two dudes with the biggest mastermind, so to say, in Spain. And he's like, yeah, Patrick. And he invited me as a speaker to his event in Mexico. And I thought that he has some balls, like inviting your biggest competitor. And I even asked him, yeah, I really appreciate it, man, but I guess, pitching and stuff. And he's like, do whatever feels right. Just be respectful, but do whatever feels right. I pitched, nobody bought. And that says everything. That says everything about him. Because he has just a strong brand, he has a strong community, he has balls like this, invites his biggest competitor, gives me an amazing speaker slot, lets me pitch, and no client leaves. He's very, very strong. And I paid 36 grand so that he's somehow my mentor, but he's also going to come to the next event, for example, in May. And he's going to be then speaking there. And for the Spanish guys, it's a big thing. They're like, whoa, Alejandro Novas, wow, and Patrick, like, whoa. I hope he's not going to pitch, this bastard. Whereas he doesn't speak English and he doesn't speak German. At Contra, who of you was at Contra the last time? Well, I'm just telling you all of these stories. 2 hours before my presentation, the photographer of the event comes to me and says, like, Patrick, I have this speaker offer if you want some special pictures. 800 euros. Let's do some special pictures. It's the fucking same pictures as the others. But I obviously say, yes, of course, man, of course. And then the pictures are the same as the others. But then I needed something from him at another conference, and he obviously helped me. Reciprocity, creating social capital, and these kind of things. I really reinvest always in the clients, in the team, and in my brand. And at the end, it somehow turned out pretty well. We're the people who wrote the book together. I would say an applause for the entire team for having the bestseller. Woo! Yeah, and they're somehow okay-ish, the pictures, but they would have been the same. Also, winning this Market of the Year award, 2,500 euros in ad spend, obviously. Like, this also doesn't come from nowhere. It's because I did ads. And it's also edgy somehow because you're sort of, but then I thought if they complain, I'm the Facebook ads dude. It would be incoherent if the Facebook ad dude wins an award without, edgy, I know. 2,500 euros ad spend. Team event in Ibiza. Like Anibal, he lives in the Canarian Islands and we work every single day together. Every single day we have our daily meetups and these kind of things. but we see each other, like I think that was the second time we met in person. I know this is very important. He told me, hey, we never took a picture together and these kind of things.
My friend, ants of time. So we all agree that at a certain stage of our businesses, we want to grow, but we don't know how. We don't know how to increase our billing or revenue. We don't know if we should actually have new products or services. Maybe it's a good time to hire new employees or hire a freelancer. Should we invest in our equipment or new markets? Did all of you guys have this question or doubt at any stage of your business? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
You can have that excitement. It's not gonna kill you. It's not gonna give you a heart attack. Well, you have to think about it, that also your customer will have the same questions, the same issues, or the same doubts. So you want to grow, but how? But also your customer, your client, might have the same question. So the next tips, the next concepts, the next exercises, don't think only about yourself. Think about your client. Think what could happen if your customer is already having 1 million in revenue, and because of your ideas, because your knowledge about business expansion, you can make your customer double their revenue. Do you think they're gonna love you, yes or no? Yes. Do you think they're gonna keep you for a longer time, yes or no? Yes. Do you think that they're going to recommend you, yes or no? So start thinking not only about yourself, but also about what you could do for the businesses that you're looking after. So this is how I came into the Ansoff matrix. I'm going to explain it because it looks a little bit complicated, but it's super, super, super simple. I'll tell you what happened into my business. I have an academy. I teach people how to trade and how to invest into the markets. It's only in Spanish, so I'm not offering you any course. And one day, a friend of mine gave me a call and said, man, he has a long beard. He said, you know what? I want to sell these products that I use. I want to build an e-commerce, but I have no idea how. So what I said, what was my answer, was like, man, not only I can help you, I can become your partner. I have idea how to do ads, I know how to write emails, and so on. So we can do this together. My business was doing okay. I was doing some revenue. I was having some profits at the end of the month. However, when we launched this e-commerce, we made no profit. We pretty much have no revenue. And as a result, we were having a loss. So in one hand, I was having my business with little effort. I was making a good revenue, a good profit. And with the other new business, I was putting a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of energy and money, and I was having a loss. At one stage, I rang my friend, and I said, man, I'm sorry, I'm leaving. It makes no sense for me to start putting so much effort into our business when I'm making no profit whatsoever, when I have this thing going on. I hung up and I started thinking, what could I do different the next time? Where I made a mistake. And number one, if you want to grow in your life, don't point at anybody else. Point at yourself. And that's the way for growth. And this is when I became a fan of the Ansoff matrix. So I approached Patrick and I say, man, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. With a lot of anxiety. And I say, we're teaching people how to do ads, how to improve, how to do this and blah, 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 blah. But we're not teaching the foundations. So basically, I didn't create anything. This is something that you can find on an MBA. But what we did today is adapt all this knowledge into the kind of companies that you have. So the Ansoff matrix proposes 4 strategies. Number one, on the vertical side, you have markets. On the horizontal line, you have products. So basically, in both areas, in both variables, you have markets, new markets, and existing markets. And the same applies for products. You have existing products and new products. For instance, you have, when you have a market, existing market and existing products, we will call that market penetration. When you are talking about your existing market, but you are providing them or supplying them with a new product, that's going to be product development. When you are reaching a new market with your existing product, that is going to be market development. And at the end, when you're reaching a new market with a new product, that will be diversification. So let's start with the first one, with market penetration. So here, if you are in that stage that you have a lot of potential for growth, very likely you want to focus in this strategy. What do you need to know about market penetration? Remember, existing customer, existing product. My suggestion to you guys, if you're taking notes, is write the strategy, market penetration, write the theory, and after, or next to it, write the examples. I'm going to explain or share with you a lot of examples about my business, so actually you can modify all these ideas and apply it to yours. So first one, market penetration. We continue in the same market with the same products or services. This is the hotline. This is the first thing that you need to remember. For instance, you want to increase your market participation. Basically, you have a product which is already existing in the market, and you're selling that product to a customer. Question to you: is your product validated, yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, because you are selling it already. Your customer like it. Okay? And because your customer like it, is your customer validated, yes or no? Come on, guys, yes or no? Yes. So you know already that your product is good, or your service, that your customer like it, then hence what you do, you increase the market participation. And the second strategy is increase product use. You can increase the usage of that product, maybe for an e-commerce that you are supplying your services, in frequency, in larger quantity, or new uses. Cassie, can I use a bottle? I'm pretty sure, guys, you all know about this, right? You heard about this bottle?
Yes.
We all agree that you can buy a similar product online for €5. I mean, cheaper, poor quality, you name it. We all agree that if you do some research, you can find a similar bottle than this for 5, maybe €7, yes or no? Yes. How much are you selling this bottle? €30. How can we increase the frequency, for example? I go to Gassi and say, Gassi, when did you launch this product? 2018. 18, so basically 4 years ago. Gassi, let's do something. Let's create a new little design with a new logo, and you say to your existing customer that we have a new or a better version or a newer version. We know people like to have the newest thing. There is a market that like to have the newest thing. How can you increase, for example, the quantity? You were selling 2 bottles for the price of 1, correct?
Yes, so special offer.
It's a special offer, you name it, but you're already doing it. And finally, you can create new uses. Now, this is focused on people that goes to the gym. But if you start thinking a little bit about it, maybe people that do different activities can use this thing as well. So, examples. If you're already doing some ads, that's pretty simple, that's pretty basic, that's what I did. Last year, I was spending little money in Facebook and Google Ads, and I was having a return of 7 times. So I was spending $10,000, I was making 70,000. Actually, the number was much smaller, and I didn't realize that I have to go higher and invest more money to basically reach more customers. Basically, you're doing something great. Let's expand it. If you have, for example, a therapist, you can say, why don't you offer a voucher? The most important thing, I don't think you can read it. Right here it says valid for 1 month. If your customer, your therapist, is having some KPIs, and the guy realizes that his customer is coming back for a massage or any treatment every 6 weeks, every 2 months, hey, let's supply this voucher. Let's make sure your customer returns in 1 month, not in 6 weeks or 2 months. Therefore, every customer is spending more money. And this is one of the things that really blew my mind when I found the information. By showing hands, how many of you guys, when you go out, drink rum on the rocks, whiskey on the rocks, or gin on the rocks?
Yeah.
One? One? Two? Two? Let me ask you a question. How many of you guys, when you go out, you drink gin and tonic, rum and coke, whiskey and coke? Come on, guys. Look around. Look around. You know what was that? Well, that was a market penetration strategy. They came out with an idea and say, if you combine the liquor with the spirit with sodas, we can increase the usage of the same product. Start thinking, maybe for you, maybe for your customer, how you can apply these strategies. So our second strategy is going to be market development. So in this new idea or this new strategy, you have to understand that you have an existing product. Remember, your product is validated, but we're going to attack a new market. So that will be market development. What do you need to know? What do you need to remember about market development? Number one, we're trying to conquer new markets or segments with the product or the service that you already have. You will expand the market for the current products. You will be looking for geographic expansion, or you will try to hit new segments. Examples. If I want to expand the market for current products, let's see, I think I need shares from your company. I deserve them. This is developed for people that want to work out at the gym, correct? Yeah, okay. Can we find, basically, I discovered your product yesterday, so I'm trying to figure it out. Can we find a way to say, well, this product is also great for hiking? That would be an idea. Could we say that this product is great for people that take classes, for example? So that will be trying to hit a new segment. People that goes to the gym, they like it, they use it, they recommend it. What else can we do for this product? In my case, for example, with new segments, I sell courses and I advertise them as a course that will help you to create a second source of income. If you're on, basically my message is, if you're in your 30s or your 40s and you want to make a second source of income, learn to trade, learn to invest in the markets. How can I actually reach a new segment? I can say, okay, if you're close to be retired, you have a lot of hours in your hands and have money that has been saved for the last 20, 30, 40 years, and you don't want that money to disappear because of inflation, learn to trade the markets. Learn to invest your money in the markets. Same product, but I'm attacking a new segment. Remember this, I know by data, that people in their 30s and 40s, they like my product, they like my concept. Now I need to test if these people that is close to be retired, they want to trade, or maybe they want to do something else. Make sense? Yes or no?
Yes.
And finally, do you remember Marco and Celine, the guys from Mind Maps, yesterday?
Yes.
What they're doing? Well, they opened a couple of offices here, back in Barcelona, and they were looking for expansion. So what they have to do? They were looking for new offices in Valencia, Palma, Ibiza, and all these places. Basically, that is a way of expansion. You might have a customer, you might sell this product, I don't know, online, and maybe you have a shop in north of Germany, and you say, man, this is going to be a big thing in Spain. Let's talk to an agency, let's talk to a company that is actually in the fitness business, and let's call them and do a partnership. The things that you can create with this is incredible. So if you have an e-commerce, how can you actually create or expand using the market development? Simple. You might be using shoes or selling, not using, but selling shoes for people that like to run marathon. So all your advertising, everything that you write about is about people that like to run marathon. But then you say, well, I can actually hit a new market. I can actually try to sell my product for people that is overweight and they want to start running. You have the same product, but your message is different and is targeting an absolute new segment. Ready for the third strategy?
Yes.
Oh. Ready for the third strategy?
Yes.
Great. So the third strategy will be product development. Remember one thing. You have a community, people that bought from you already. They like you. They trust you. If you're doing great things, if you're doing things the right way, they're waiting for you to sell them something else. So remember that we're hitting here your existing customer with a new product. Therefore, we know that your customer trusts you. They don't have any problem putting down their credit card or sending a transfer, but you have to test first if the new product is going to be good for them, it's going to fit them. And I'm going to prove you that you could make so much money, or I will prove you that you're leaving so much money on the table that is insane. I will give you a few examples. Number one, what do you need to know? You have to create alternatives. And it couldn't come at any better time.
Oh, a new product developed. Ooh.
A newer version of the bottle, personalized.
And premium quality.
And premium quality. Ooh. Right? So think about it. Let's be serious for a minute. How much are you selling the bottle? 30 euros. This one and this one?
35.
35. If I can buy this bottle for 5 euros elsewhere, but I'm willing to pay 30 euros for this one because I like to stand out, I like to do things in a different way, I like to spend money on quality products. How likely me as a customer am willing to receive a nutrition product or nutrition idea or concept from you? Very likely or unlikely?
Very likely.
Very likely. If I buy this bottle from you, how likely I am to buy a towel that could be attached to that bottle? Very likely or very unlikely? By showing hands, how many of you guys have customers with online existence? How many of you guys have customers that sell things online? 100% of you. Leave your hands up if you have a customer that sells something online. How many of you offer to your customer a GDPR service for their company. Say, guys, there is a law that needs to be respected. How many of you guys offer a GDPR service to your existing customers? Did you? Did you tell your customer, I can offer you a GDPR service? Or did you find anybody, I mean, congratulations.
We have partners with that because I'm not allowed to give exactly advice, but I do have partners, like I connect them and help them.
That's the point. That is exactly the point. Guys, you have a customer that wants to sell online, have no idea about the law or what is going on online. You have a customer that maybe is in a startup. Do you think that guy might need a lawyer, an accountant? Of course. They might need a designer, a copywriter. Either you have it in your team, either you connect with somebody and say, let's have a partnership. And it's a three-way win-win-win situation. You make a profit for a product or service that you don't offer. The guy that is offering the GDPR service is having a new customer, and your existing customer is so grateful because he's like, man, you saved me a lot of money first by not breaking the law and having to pay a penalty, but more than that, actually thank you because you find a supplier for me that I don't have to go elsewhere and find it and negotiate. Guys, the potential of this is incredible. So the key question here is, what other product or service does my client want or need? Examples, and I just bought this recently. One of the agencies on the Spanish group, they are very well known for ads, Facebook ads, Google ads. I had an agency already, so I say no to them, I turn them down. They rang me and say, man, we are actually developing a new product, which is SEO for your YouTube channel. Ooh, I'm interested now. The agency that I already have for Google and Facebook ads, they came to me yesterday and say, do you know about our new service?
No, really?
Copywriting. Whoa, I trust you. I pay you, I like you, you helped me already. If what you did already for me is great, well, I have fantastic expectations about your copywriting service. Guys, you can make way more revenue and profit in your business. I'll give you another example. My strength, my core business is trading and investing in the stock market. 2 years ago, crypto was the big thing. So I had three options. Let the opportunity go, which as a business owner is something I don't like. I had the opportunity of studying a lot, becoming an expert, test my ideas, record all those things, all those videos, and create the info product, advertise it, blah, 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 and make some money. Or find a guy that is super good at cryptos that can prove me that he's having profits and say, do you want to record an info product for me? Remember, I have an existing customer that trusts me. And it was a great success. For me, it was extra money. For him, it was one of the greatest success he had in his life. More than that, guys, you all know about affiliate marketing. This is it. If you think about it, every single idea fit into one of these 4 strategies. And finally, how many of you have an iPhone here? Leave your hands up. How many of you have an Apple Watch? Or AirPods, or any product from Apple? Do you see? What they did is like, okay, we sell you an iPhone, we have fans, people is queuing to buy our phone, let's give them something else. And that's what Apple did. They created a new product that is actually connected, that is called complement or adds on. And again, let's put some more examples.
Guys, before we start with the exercise, and before I gonna talk a serious word with Davorin now, in front of everyone, my dear friend, before we do that, it's very serious. I also wanted to ask you who has an agency, who has a marketing agency. The window of opportunity that Fede had with crypto 2 years ago, all of you right now seriously have with SEO for YouTube organic. Huh? Who of you offers this right now as a service? It's an easy 1K to 2K retainer monthly, done for 6 to 12 months, huh? For 3 to 5 hours of work per week for an employee. SEO for YouTube. You take an infopreneur, you take whoever, let's say you take Davorin, that we're going to talk in a second, right? Like to open this loop. Davorin, he already has a YouTube channel, but how many subscribers do you have?
I'm so big. I'm so big.
12?
Yes.
12?
No. 200.
But his content, like to be honest, is amazing. He's one of the best public speakers I know. The way he records it, the Austrian government just paid him a new video equipment. So it's a really nice video studio now. There's some Förderungen in Austria, and he financed it. Yeah, they like you a lot. They just like his content. No, but the video content of Davorin, like to be honest, if you want to learn about LinkedIn, it's amazing. Like it's an online course you get for free on YouTube. But he has 200 subscribers. Why? Because his thumbnails suck. His title sucks. Well, I don't even know the keywords he uses. They're LinkedIn marketing. Yeah, okay. But how much search volume do you have for that? Maybe it should be like B2B branding opportunity. I don't know. Someone needs to do this properly. And this is already done in Spain by the guys that approached Fede. And I know their fucking business. And they scaled from 200K to 500K, their agency, with this little hack, offering a new service. A service that nobody does, but everyone, who of you know Sam Ovens? Sam Ovens, now he goes into VTube. He bought VTube.com. He's going very heavily into YouTube organic growth strategies. He says that's your #1 source of traffic in 2023. YouTube organic, because it's the only fucking social media platform where we have a compound interest effect. On Instagram stories, I created today, and in 3 days, nobody gives a shit about it anymore. YouTube video, you upload it today. In 1 year, it gets another 2,000 visitors. In 2 years, it gets another 3,000 visitors. So it's the only thing that actually makes sense when you create content nowadays. SEO for YouTube organic, that's the window of opportunity. And now you're not leaving, my friend. You're not leaving. We have a serious word to talk about now, Darwin. A very serious word. After 4 or 5 years of friendship, this guy launched his own mastermind. And he had his first event last weekend, but I think it's a very smart idea because he had already an existing market. People just love him. People that work with Davorin, they like to learn about LinkedIn. They like to maybe also learn more things. It's the existing customer, the existing market, his audience. He sells them a high ticket offer anyways. And we're actually developing this thing that how he sells his mastermind. It's not perfect, obviously, right? And I'm really proud to see you grow. Like I'm super, super proud, to be honest. But it's a perfect strategy for an existing market launching a new product. What's your upsell? How to increase the customer lifetime value? And now, 2 minutes to work on your own ideas.
So last one is diversification. Basically, pretty simple here. We're trying to reach a new market with a new product. And what happened here? You're looking for something that hasn't been tested at all. Do you remember my beer e-commerce experience? Well, it classified in here, and that was my failure. So what options you have? What options I will recommend you if you want to go into this strategy? To diversify in related areas. If you are in the e-commerce business, let's say you own an e-commerce, you know how it works, you know how the fulfillment center works, you know how to create ads, remarketing, emails, whatever, you name it, well, it will make sense to open a different e-commerce. So you can diversify in areas that you know and other areas that you don't know. Here, for example, will be a great example, to talk about investing in the stock market, investing in real estate. That's how you can diversify your portfolio. You are investing your money into other businesses that you don't know. Maybe you don't know how the Airbnb business works, but you buy a property, you hire an agency, they charge you a fee, and you have a passive income passive income coming into your pocket every time. So the key question here is, what other areas do I know or I can develop in? Again, e-commerce is investing in the stock market or real estate, or again, just growing your business. Does anybody knows or doesn't know what vertical integration means? Vertical integration is pretty simple. Apple, back then, they were selling their products through other businesses. For example, Vodafone, Orange, if you want to buy your phone, you have to go through them and buy it. So what Apple did, they say, hey, let's open our own Apple stores and we sell them. So basically, we don't need that supplier, that middleman anymore. So for example, if you have an e-commerce and you're doing drop shipping and you start doing the same business but in a fulfillment center, that will be vertical integration. We're running a little bit short of time, but I don't want you to think that this is not for you. I don't want you to think that, I cannot apply this. I'll share with you a story very quickly of a hairdresser. The guy, to start, here in Spain, a haircut costs about 15 euros. The guy charges you 70. He gives you a massage. He has a really nice service. But because of the Ansoff matrix, the guy also have a line of products: shampoo, creams, facial stuff, oils, and so on. Second source of income. Then he opened an academy. It's just incredible, and it comes from a hairdresser that you will think, no, it's impossible. He created an academy. So he actually teach other people that want to become a hairdresser. He teaches them about haircut styles, business, personal growth, and so on. How much he charged those people? None. So where is the business? The guy has an agreement that every hairdresser that have his own shop has to sell his own products. The guy owns only one shop. He's selling his own products in 37 stores, owning none of them besides his private one. An absolute genius. Why I'm sharing this with you, don't limit yourself to think this might be great, but for somebody else. Because the opportunities here are phenomenal.
Wow. Amazing example. Thank you for sharing that one, Fede. Before we jump into the activity, the easy diversification is, as Fede just said, like also moving from the business owner quadrant to the investor quadrant, real estate, crypto, stock. And for me, it's actually my exit strategy. We developed more or less also a plan how we could sell this thing, but it's impossible. Like the first man mover disadvantage. Would you be here if I'm just saying, Matteo is now the Patrick Wynn from it would be cool, but it would be then Matteo's thing somewhere, right? So it's not really realistic that this can be an exit. The only exit for me somehow is my plan is at least 3 more years, 2023, 2024, 2025. Go really full focus, do the MasterMind, and then afterwards, let's see, maybe another year, maybe 2 more years, maybe just focusing on something that we might call inner circle. Let's see, because it's a lot of work, obviously, and there needs to be a carrot at one point of time. Who of you wants to work forever? Like, So that's more or less my exit strategy, so to say, in 3 to 4 or 5 years, is that I generate cash and I take the cash and invest it in real estate. Okay, my number is 10,000 euros in monthly recurring revenue from the mieten, from the rents. And I think by end of 2025 I should be there. You need more or less 2.2 million invested in real estate. That is more or less like this. Waldemar is the investment rebel, he knows all of this. Should be more or less like this, right? Well, first investment was this in Lanzarote, and it's going okay-ish. So also giving you some insight information what Fede painted. Obviously, in a very nice way, you buy the thing, you hire an agency, and it's a passive income. So now, bueno, this thing of passive income, I have not lived in this human being so far. Well, the 3 things that went wrong, so to say. First, the Instandsetzungskosten. So when we bought it, we calculated with like 5,000 things, but then the pool turned completely green. There's a tree, a palm tree, and the roots, they are below the pool. So you need to get rid of the palm and whatever. So first thing that went wrong, Instandsetzungskosten instead of 5K, like 15K or something. And this hurts in the profit, obviously. Second, tourism crisis in Lanzarote. Perfect. Instead of 4K or 5K expected revenue, 2,500 expected revenue per month. Third thing that went wrong, laufender Aufwand. Well, the cleaning lady charges me 600 euros a month. Der Gärtner, der fucking Gärtner, der diese scheiß Palme dort gießt, das ist eine Palme, die ist auch eine Bewässerungsanlage, der muss dort nichts machen, another 300 euros. Das ist eine Bewässerungsanlage. What the fuck does this dude do for 300 euros a month? There is a pool guy, 200 euros a month, and the fucking pool is green every time when I go there. So everything, bueno, just saying that. In Spanish you say not everything that shines is gold. So also the Airbnb business model, that's why I right now pivot a little bit more into another real estate game, which is the long-term rental game. I just bought a small flat in Valencia. Actually, we had dinner because he lives in Valencia. So we had dinner, and the next day I bought this thing. And the investment case is quite interesting. Like obviously, if you invest in Barcelona, Vienna, things are very expensive. But there are places like Valencia, and there it was 118,000 euros. Obviously, there are a lot of Nebenkosten. Like in total, it was 145 or something. And it brings, already signed the contract, 800 euros monthly. 118,800. I think that's pretty okay-ish. So the Airbnb thing, I mean, this is also obviously some branding for Patrick Wind. After Tenerife, we go to Lanzarote with the clients, reinvesting clients. I mean, it's still cool to have this, second house, and so it's also for other reasons, die ich mir so selber erzähle, dass ich das irgendwie rational, dissonance reduction. But I think from now on I'm going to invest more in the long-term rental game. But then there are also problems like Mietnomaden, and they destroy the house and other things. But for now, that's the strategy that I'm doing. So think about it.
So finally, this is research that has been done about the Ansoff matrix. And this is the chances of success when you apply any of these strategies. My suggestion, guys, take picture because it's super, super important. So basically, every time you go for market penetration, that will give you a 75% chances of success. When you go into market development, it drops. Basically, your product has been validated, and that is one of the most important parts. So basically, all you have to do is try to hit a new market. Then your chances of success drop to 35 when you have a new product. That even when you have an existing customer, you still have to test. Make sure you highlight the word test if that idea works. And then some research says that diversification is 30%. Some other research says that your chances of diversifying drop to 25. Obviously, it will depend. In the case of Patrick, he was being explained by some expert about how to invest in the real estate. So obviously, when you do that kind of diversification, your chances of success, they increase. And we want to give you a bonus. Who will like a bonus?
Bonus!
Yay!
Bonus!
Why did I just say highlight the word test? You have 4 strategies. You have 4 ways of increasing your revenue, your profit, of expanding your business. But another concept that blew my mind was the lean startup concept. And I'm going to share with you a real story. This one is fine.
This is really good, guys. This is like really, really good.
My mind is always thinking about doing businesses, creating new ideas. Yesterday I was talking to guys and saying, man, congratulations. Basically, you didn't create a product. We had these bottles already. You just you made it better. So I like to go to the gym and I like to play paddle. You guys know what paddle is, right? In English. Like tennis. Exactly. So basically, I go to the gym.
Exactly.
And I wear this glove. I go to the gym, I have a soft, nice pad on it, and I enjoy that. I really like it. It's small, it's comfortable, it's fresh. But what problem do I have when I play paddle? Your hand gets very sweaty, and your racket slips. And you try to hit the ball, and it kind of slips. So my head was like, whoa, this is a great glove. If I actually create a glove for paddle, I can make a lot of money because I know a lot of people have the same problem. So normally what we do, we say, oh, let's call a designer. Let's pay him $2,000 or euros. Great, you got a nice glove. Next step, let's call an engineer and let's find the best fabrics for it. Another 3,000. Now you spend 5,000. Let's call some Chinese manufacturer and say, bring me 2,000 units of this glove. That's what most of us will do. And if I go through the process, basically, I had an idea, I built it, I created the product, and I just see how it goes. Very likely, what will happen? The product is a failure, and I will have in my house 2,000 gloves. I will have in my bank account minus 15K and a failure idea. So before you apply any of the strategies that we told you today, go for what is called an MVP, which stands for minimum viable product. And this is what I did. I bought 5 of these gloves. I went downstairs to the, it's called seamstress, the lady that sew the clothes.
So it's a Schneiderei.
Yeah? This is literally what I did. I bought 5 of these gloves. I went to this lady and said, can you remove the soft part? I just want the fabric with the grip. It was rubbish. It was horrible. I was even embarrassed of the glove. I actually have to glue it to make it slightly more attached to the fabric. And I gave it to my friends. I gave the glove to 5 different friends and say, can you try it for me? The guy said, sure. I mean, if this fixes the problem, man, I'm hands-on on it. A week later, I called each of them. One guy loved it. He's like, man, you solved my life. The other 4, man, actually, when I get sweaty, it started getting slippery from inside. It wasn't good. At half of the game, I have to remove it. It wasn't really good at all. 4 guys saying no, 1 guy saying yes. Instead of spending 15K in developing a product that I will actually have to put in the back of my house, not in my house. You know how much it cost me, that idea? Less than 100 euros. I actually had the opportunity of releasing that idea, testing it, creating the MVP, and then what I did, I called them and I measure. I say, I'm only having 20% success. I collected the data, I learned, and this is a fantastic stage when you say, I either pivot, which means I change, I move elsewhere, or I persevere. If that MVP was a success, then it will make a lot of sense to call a designer, an engineer, and a factory in China and spend the 15K. But because of that, it saved me those 15K.